can settle down to your spaces. You're super women and we celebrate you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I know that has helped us settle in. And you've also probably said hi to whoever you've not said hi to. Are the smiles still on? Zico? So this afternoon we are going to have breakout sessions, 2 breakout sessions, which will take at least 40 minutes for us to have a conversation. And the breakout session will take place in this room. So the first breakout session will be on this side and the second on the farthest side. So these breakout sessions will be led by Georgina Dulu, the Gender Director, State Office, Kilifi County, who will take the left-hand side. And then we have General Dean Omukanga, she's the Senior Director Officer, State Department Gender. She'll be taking the right-hand side. And there'll be the team leads of the conversation. Probably won't be using our mics, just to ensure that the conversations flow. And this is the first breakout session. How can the proposed GBV fund be structured and operationalized? How can the proposed GBV fund be structured and operationalized? The second breakout session will be discussing aspects around county rollout strategy, that is the phasing, prioritization, and partnership. So these are the key areas we'll be looking at, being team led by the 2 amazing ladies. And I wanted to confirm if people had already selected where to go to or they're doing it right now. Okay. So for the sake of everyone choosing a side, let me repeat. The right, one side of the room will be discussing how can the proposed GBV fund be structured and operationalized. General Dean on the right-hand side will be having that conversation. The second side of the room will be taking on county rollout strategy. That is the phasing, prioritization, and partnership. In your own capacity, depending on what you'd like to sit on, I would request we use 2 minutes or a minute to be able to break out. Tuko salama hapo? Kuzungumza. Please, in a minute, as the DJ turns on the music, find your space. Georgina, you can go to the farthest side where the seats are. Then your team will just follow you up. Tuko salama? Please pick a side. Nirudie tena. Sawa sawa. Tunaenda kugawanyika kwa vitengo viwili. Kitengo cha kwanza ambacho kitakuwa katika mkono wangu wa kulia, watazungumzia how can the proposed GBV fund be structured and operationalized. Miss General Dean on this right side will take the lead. Ako hapa. Sawa sawa? Alafu Miss Georgina kule nyuma kutoka Kilifi atachukua county rollout strategy, phasing, prioritization na partnership. Tutakuwa na vitengo viwili hapa ndani, mmoja upande na mmoja ule upande mwingine. Kwa muda wa dakika moja, tafadhali nenda kule ambapo ungependa mazungumzo ambayo yanahusiana na your interest sana. Iko sawa? Thank you. We'll take 40 minutes. I hope the moderators of the talk will keep time. Thank you. DJ. We do have rapporteurs in the house. Let's have one rapporteur on that side and another one there. Please ensure to indicate their key pointers so that we are able to assemble back and they are read fluently. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we acknowledge that some of us do not have such in place. Some of us already have them in place, but they are still lessons. So we are still learning from others. We are still trying our best to meet the guidelines and have them 100% operationalized. And some of them they are already running. So in all those phases, there are gaps that are there. So number one, we are supposed to highlight on the phases. And number two, highlight on the gaps and how we are going to prioritize our action points moving forward. Now that from all these discussions from yesterday and today, building on the protective centers in our county, moving forward, now we are going back to our county. What is it that we are supposed to be doing once we go back? What are those things that we can pick in and start implementing even on our own? Yes.
Okay, so first, I can say like it could be all the issues that create hubs center, so that we can, first of all, before we have issues of data. So if maybe we can talk on those hubs, we can have the meeting with the young people or those based in DBV, which can help us to have another step on it. A hub is a center, it's like a center, a small center that...
Sound good.
A hub is a small center or a place that is set aside to unite people or to unite people that are around. For example, here, we can have a hub at one room there. We call it a hub that we will have to kukusanya watu tunaweka pale, and we teach them. We give them knowledge or skills on how we will be running these things, because there is no way we will ask for something and hatujajifunza na hatujajua from the ground what we need to do with that. Yeah.
Excuse me, take this one. Okay, let's use this mic.
First, I would like to emphasize on data, because here is where we have issues on data. If we can come with a policy that guides us in each and every county to have data. Okay, first, I would like to emphasize on data. If we can have, in each and every county, if we can have data for every victim, it will help us more in doing our policies. because without data, it's like we're doing nothing. So we come as one consortium, we do data, and we see on policies and guidance that can help us in doing the data, because we need to have policy on that if we check on the data protection policy part of it. And then second, I feel like in Rwanda, let me use an example for Rwanda because I participated on that. In Rwanda, I saw like even if they can't meet in person, but they can meet online, like strengthening the gaps that they left on the forum, the ones that they were seeing like it's so hard. We can as well continue with the conversation online to strengthen our gaps, and also we can as well how do you call it? It's inapotea. We can as well make, the way she was saying, a hub. We can say like each and every Saturday at this time for just 1 hour, we'll be sensitizing ourselves per county, because I believe that talking in our mother tongue make the sensitization more better for other people to understand than speaking in English and Swahili. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. We've captured it.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maggie. I work for SHOFCO in the coastal region. I think another best approach is a multi-sectorial approach on how we can ensure that we are having the structures on board, we are having all the discussions that we've had here in regards to ensuring that the survivors are getting the best care, protection, and up to recovery. So I think in each and every country we have the technical working group. Do we have the technical working groups in our counties? These are conversations that we need to go and start having it there very seriously with what we've had here in terms of the gaps in the policy, in terms of the gaps in the holistic support in the safe houses, all the gaps that we've deliberated here. So we have to have a conversation in the TWGs in all our counties, because in each and every county it's unique in its own way. The geographical aspects, the challenges, the gaps that are there in each and every county, they are unique in their own way. So it's just a matter of having the conversations that we've had here, the dialogue that we've had here, we push it to our counties. In those, I know we have the local, the county, and also the national technical working groups, and we have to push for all these things. Like you see, the safe shelters, we don't have a one-stand policy for running safe houses. We don't have, yeah? So these are conversations that we need to have in those technical working groups, where we are having different partners. We are having the national government and also the county government, and we deliberate and we push. Because I've realized most of the things here, we just, there's a lot of, I'll say PR, paperwork, but when it comes to implementation and doing the actual things, like maybe next time we'll come here for this same dialogue, we'll ask ourselves, what have we done? Because it's just conversations, we are doing this, we are pushing for this, but are we really doing that on the ground? And at the end of the day, the survivors are really in need of the care, protection, and also the best recovery. So let's follow up with our technical working groups, because that is the best forum where we are having multi-sectorial partners that can come together and we have discussions and deliberations just to ensure that what we've discussed here is really implemented. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How is it? I put it on my notes.
Oh, ama asimame. Asimame. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've just been appointed here as a representative for COG, so just to listen to the conversations. But I had a similar, almost similar thing, because I was debating, do I come here or I go to where money is going to be divided? Then I realized I'm more of a county person than the national, where they say, where will the money be? But sincerely speaking, I like what she has said. Unless we demystify GBV and talk about it in a language where everyone can understand. And that happens in our own counties. Then nothing will happen. Because like for my own county, you know, when you talk about Migori County, you just think about FGM and other things. So the causes of GBV are many and varied in various counties. So this conversation, it should not be seen as if we are inciting or doing anything, but it should start where we had started yesterday. That is the sensitization. Very, very important. We were told it's not about money first. It's about dealing with the reality on the ground. So the first thing we need to find out, what are the low-hanging fruits that we can be able to take out from this place as we live today? And one of them would just be, do you have a local radio station that you can engage? Or do you have maybe a baraza, or even a school or women groups that are existing in your community? And how do you do it? Because it is ongoing, but under cover. So like some of us, I didn't want to talk much because our safe house is just being constructed. And our technical working group is intact, yes. For now, we are working on our GBV policy. But we have not even sensitized the assembly. So we don't know when we are done with this policy, where will we take it? Because when we talk about GBV and SGBV and all those FGM and the rest, you go to the assembly and that is where it is. It's being practiced. The politicians don't want to talk about it. So who will pass these things we are talking about? So my request is, let us be very, very open and suggest very simple things before money comes that we can easily be able to put together. I agree that we are confused. Is this a medical issue? And I said we needed to have a real conversation with you. Are the doctors talking about it? If we keep quiet, will it be solved in a hospital setup? And we agree that this is a real issue that we need to put in one basket, but with many multi-sectoral. But where does the GBV policy going to fall? Let me stop there and listen. And I really want to listen because I need to be guided so that I don't make the same mistakes that maybe Kilifi did or any other place, so that we are all together. And the first thing that I loved most is let us create our own, even WhatsApp group, and see how best. And when you set the time, please think about other people. Like somebody said about Saturday, you'll find me in church. So think about something that will be all inclusive, a time when...
Thank you very much, Prof. Tumeelewa hiyo and I think she set the floor very well.
Thank you very much. My name is Helen Kaberia. I am the Director in Gender Meru County. So I was just thinking,
Project your voice. So can all hear you. Your voice.
Okay. So coming to think about it, we need to build on what we already have. Because when you look at county setup, for example, there's a Directorate of Gender. In our county, we call it Directorate of Gender and Social Development. When you go to the national government, just across the fence, there's a Director, State Department for Gender Affairs, affirmative action, and affirmative action. So we need actually to work together, because this SGBV policy is also their function. And county government also have that function. So how do we work together so that we are working towards achieving a common goal? That is one thing. Number two, there's a team of coordinators in Kenya. Each county has an SGBV coordinator. Unfortunately, I have not seen them in this forum because my coordinator haven't seen her. So those people are there, and they have been having what we are calling community dialogues as far as matters GBV are concerned. So those things are happening. How do we harmonize now this structure? How do we harmonize this matter so that we are talking with one voice? What I know is what the GBV coordinator knows, is what the community knows, so that we are moving as a group.
Pardon my interruption. The
Yes.
SGBV coordinator, under which department do they fall under?
They come from various departments. Ours come from Department of Health.
Most of them are from
Yeah, from health.
I understand SGBV coordinators from the Ministry of Health.
Yeah, they are there. And they there. Or they are there. In Meru we have one, and she tells me she can call any from all the counties of Kenya. Number two, some counties have actually GBV policies. Meru County did one in 2016. We have it, though we feel we need to review it because of the emerging issues, new GBV issues that are emerging. So the existing ones, yeah? There are so many, madam. I'm just saying this one was developed when the cases had not become many like they are today. Maybe cases of sodomy are not covered there, or the issues of GBV, many of them could not have been captured by in that policy. So we need to review the existing ones and also counties that have not come up with these SGBV policies to come up with a policy. And we also we tap on each other so that we are talking with one voice. That's my take.
Thank you so much. Moving with a line, I think there's a hand here. Then we can go another round.
In the spirit of gender.
Sorry, boy child, poleni basi.
Hi. Actually, what I wanted to say, most of it has been captured. While in the counties, we also have the different. In the county, we have the different organizations. So maybe the different organization, when they have like the same thing, the ones that deal with GBV, they come together. They have to come together so that when you're going to the county, you have one voice and how to reach the grassroots. So the NGOs are in the grassroots, they're in the community, so they can bring the real issues and also help in the implementation of the policies.
Thank you very much. Boy child.
Boy child tumefikiwa. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I go by the name MC Lang Katalang. I'm a podcaster and a TikToker, and I'm representing, I think, Migori County. My chief officer is here, Professor Odhiambo. I must say that as Migori County, we are not badly off, but there's a lot that we need to do. Last year, I think, through the efforts of, I'm told to watch this camera. So last year, through the efforts of the First Lady, Mama Agnes Ochilo, we were able to do what we call Kambi ya Vijana. And I think it was very productive because we had girls coming from all over the county to attend that particular forum. And other than Chief mentioning that we have the policies actually coming up, I also wish that we can, have new strategies towards having, the campaign against GBV. I heard during our sessions that sometimes you find that there are people at the top who are trying to, shield perpetrators. But now there's the new trend of, things like Bunge la Wananchi, where people speak their mind. Currently, if you look at Bunge la Wananchi, yes, it's political, but there's an aspect of economic, indulgence. They want to form their own, economic groups, support groups and stuff like that. Why don't we have, representatives of, or GBV champions within Bunge la Wananchi all over the country? Because that is the new thing in town. You understand? And not just that, we have borders and we have what have you, people who gather and they can actually speak their mind. So other than that, I think we just need to have proactive measures to ensure that we engage as many people as possible, especially those who are vocal. If things are not happening at the top, we can start at the bottom. That is my point. Otherwise, thank you.
Maybe a question to you. You said you at Migori, you're not badly off. So by not badly off, what do you mean? Like, could you give us an example of things that you've done that separates you from those that are badly off? You don't need to mention the county that is badly off.
Okay.
Just say as Migori, these are the developments you've done. Of course, you've mentioned Kambia Vijana.
Yes.
What are some of the things, just for the benefit of those of us who are here, tunaweza kuombana?
Oh, Kambia Vijana was about, addressing matters of the triple threat. New HIV infections, teen pregnancies, and of course, GBV. So I like the fact that we were engaging young girls from as young as 9, up to the age of around, 25. So that at the end of the day, we pick it up in terms of sensitization from a very young age. A young girl knows that at the end of the day, there are violations that should not happen to them. And then we also taught them on how to speak out their issues, especially when they are violated. So when you know how to speak out, you know where to go to when you are violated, and you know all the avenues to take when certain vices like that happen. I think I would say we are not badly off in terms of communicating GBV vices. Sure.
He's just being smart, but he started with Kambila Wasichana, and the boys really complained. The first year we started with Kambila Wasichana, and we were focusing on those young girls, but the boys really complained. So in the second year now, we added Kambila Vijana, where we had boys and girls in the camp. So I believe that we were benchmarking with another group that is doing FGM. Can I remember where we went? Can't remember, they are not captured here. But, comparing and seeing what is it that works and what is it that is not working. Oh, sorry, I'm over.
It's okay, thank you very much. And I hope as we are discussing, some of those things are cross-cutting. Issues of partnerships are also coming in as the conversation continues. We are also seeing in terms of readiness, how ready are we, what else can we do in our counties, and what is it that we need to prioritize. So already we are mapping those stressing points already. And if a point has been mentioned, kindly don't repeat it, but if you have something to add on it, kindly feel free. Oh, boy child, and then back here.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Albert Ngetich. I work with Teach for Kenya. Oh, sorry. My name is Albert Ngetich, and I work with Teach for Kenya. And I wanted to share 3 points. One is what we always speak about. Prevention is better than cure, isn't it? Do we remember that? And I was reflecting from yesterday up to now, the importance of going back to the communities and doing needs assessment of those populations that are always affected. How are we engaging them? My brother here has spoken about utilizing the focal voices. What about those who cannot speak up, the ones who are always affected? We know there are many communities where girls do not go to school, right? But how are we involving them? We had a lot of people coming in here who are survivors, isn't it? But I was also keen to see that girl from Turkana, or not to profile, but we know all those communities that are still marginalized, isn't it? To share their experiences. And in terms, we have policies, even if they are skeletons, I know they are there. It could be a policy brief, a framework or something, but there is a commitment in our counties. But then, as we are trying to do what we call needs assessment to assess where we are in those counties, how are we involving these stakeholders? Those who are always affected and those communities that always are at risk. And there is a forum I was part of, and there is always something that resonates with me up to now, which is it is not for them if it is without them. Who can?
Nothing for us without CHP.
Yes, that one. So we need to involve them. I mean, let us take policy reviews and assessing all the policies that we have from the boardrooms to that community. I think that will be very important. So let's be very participatory. Notwithstanding that the fact that there are those of us who are exposed, isn't it? But I can tell you for free that if we listen to those parents or caregivers who are not exposed in one way or another, we'll have different perspectives. We will be going with the policy in a way that we know what we can help them, not what we know that is for them. And then something else is on resource centers. I think most of us started with, which is knowledge sharing. I think we need to share knowledge. And the fact that there is a lady who mentioned about hubs, if those hubs can be equipped to be full-fledged resource centers in those counties that we come from, we will be able to know what is happening in South Africa, what is happening in Nairobi, what is happening in Migori, and it will be something like one-stop shop where we can be able to have that knowledge. And having gone to the community, we come to the resource center, we look at the data and the information that is available and come out with a very good policy. And then lastly, looking at the safe spaces, we have the households, and then we have the community. At Teach for Kenya, that is the framework we are using. What are we doing at the household level? How are we empowering the caregivers, the parents, the guardians, to be able to create safe spaces for girls and boys to rise and thrive? At the community, as the children come from school and back from school to their homes, how safe is that community? Okay? And then lastly, at the school level, we know how our teachers are very important, isn't it? We know how the level of responsibility that is bestowed on the teachers. And I can tell you from our experience of working with even teachers who are here and organizations who work with schools, schools are the first safe spaces where girls and boys express themselves. They trust our teachers in most cases. So how are we collaborating with schools to be able to ensure that they become the first points of identifying these cases, and secondly, preventing these cases in terms of life skills integrated into the curriculum, and also having clubs. You know, there is guidance and counseling sessions, but what we are trying to do is going beyond that. Guiding and counseling is a case has been identified and someone has reported it, but then within the education system, the girls and the boys, are they able to grow up having the necessary 21st century skills that they know that, okay, when my uncle does this to me or someone does this to me into the community, I can be able to speak up and I know the places I can go to. I know how, in fact, to defend myself, you know, and so forth. So I think those are what I had in mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I've been reminded that we have 10 minutes. So, in the spirit of inclusion, but let's make it very brief. In the spirit of inclusion, a minute.
Okay, how are you? Yeah, lazima ningeongea. Anyway, I've had good points from you guys. I've heard talk about implementation, inclusivity. Now I'd like to speak for the sake of persons with disabilities. When you are involving us, or rather including us, kindly make sure that the information that you're passing through, or maybe the information that you're giving, is accessible for persons with disabilities. When you're calling us for meetings, also make sure that the infrastructure or the distance is disability friendly. What again did I want to talk about? And also, we are tired of being seen as flowers Like when someone hears mambo inclusion, you put a person with disability and then you specify, I want one with albinism or maybe one with a crutch, so that it can be seen that it is a person with disability. We are tired. So when you are calling us for the meetings, kindly, and also anything that you want to engage us. I was so disappointed today. I don't want to talk about it here because maybe you're recording. But again, hatutaki kuonekana kama maua ndio muonekane ati you are inclusive enough. Ile ya kujaza pengo ati wanawake, persons with disabilities, no. Kindly make sure that sisi pia to feel tuko included. And when he talked about it's just like speaking for the voiceless. There are many persons with disabilities that are being violated, and just like my friend there, Maureen, said, there's one that had been raped just the other day by the nephew, and sadly she's passed on. She was poured on acid. Yeah, and the challenges that we go through as HRDs is lack of resources. We come to you guys, maybe. I have an organization, someone approaches me, and then the third part is, utaskia, our shelter is not able to, does not have the capacity to take in more people for rescue. So where am I supposed to go as a person? So next time when I commit suicide, utasema, oh, that girl came to us, sadly she's passed on. It doesn't really make sense. If I am saying that I am a disability rights advocate, then I should be able to refer this person to someone else if I cannot be of help. So let's lead as an example. Let's stop putting these things on paper, coming here for meetings and talking, and yet we are just looking for funding. Can change start with us? Please. Thank you.
I thank you very much. And just a minute. And as we are heading into our conclusion, let's also talk about issues of partnerships. We have partners in place. We have SHOFCO, we have GVRC. We have so many from our counties. And since the US did the thing, funding has been quite an issue in our counties. Right. And as a government, money will never be enough. We have other competing priorities. However, we still want to make our protective centers sustainable. How are we going to get there? Thank you. I think she raised her hand for long, and then the lady, the gentleman, and we'll go back here.
Good afternoon. I'm Jane from Smile for Neurodiversity. My take was, the first thing we need to do is about gender prevention awareness, because let's first see where the problem comes from, because everybody knows if you need to treat a wound, you first need to know what type of a wound are you treating. If today, God forbid, Ebola came, and we were told to stay at our homes, all people who are here know that women will be subjected to gender-based violence the same way they were subjected to it during Corona. Right now we are going towards the election, and when we go to the election, there are three categories of people who are going to either end up being gender-based victims or are going to win. The first category are women, the second category are kids, and the third category are going to be the vulnerable people in the community. Why don't we use, because there is somebody who said we have a generation gap. Why don't we use these Gen Zs and this X Space, the Facebook Live and the TikTokers to preach about gender-based violence and how we can mitigate it before it comes? Because for the young people, they don't even understand at times when they are mitigating gender-based violence against people without knowing. Let's take an example. I'm just going to take just 1 minute. I being a victim, 2024, if everybody remembers very well, while a parliament was being raided, there is a building called New Sunbeam Shopping Complex. they started a fire from downstairs, everybody went up. So we were moving from 4th floor to ground floor. And whatever we saw that day, I'll never want my mother, my sister, or my daughter to go through. Because I remember, each time I see this type of kitenge, from that day I've never worn a kitenge, because I remember very well, a colleague of mine was going down. And when she was going down, she was wearing a smoke kitenge dress, and it was caught by a nail. So by the time she reached down at the between Sunbeam Shopping Complex and the other building, because we were jumping from one building to another. By the time she reached there, she didn't have a dress. And the first thing that the chokoras and the people who were starting to burn the building did, they grabbed her, started putting fingers into her, and until today, the 419 people who were in Sunbeam were never recorded as people who went through violence. So we need to mitigate that, because if we lose Kenya as a country because of violence, we are going to head the genocide way of Rwanda.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, finally. Thank you very much.
Make it a few seconds, please. Summarize.
Why me? Anyway, I'll try. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I loud enough? Yeah. Okay. My name is Pierina Guantai. As I introduced myself before, I'm from, and I'm also an associate of the National Shelters Network. So allow me to skew my points around shelters, safe shelters. I'm at the GBV protection centers. And to start, let me give you greetings from Edith. She was supposed to have been in this discussion. The lady who presented a lot on safe shelters yesterday. She said, I'll tell you this, shelter operators work without gloves, they work from the heart, and they give everything. Now that opens my discussion, and I will make a rejoinder of what has been discussed this morning concerning financing. And because we are discussing county rollout, what is coming to my mind quickly is what was mentioned, matching funds. And what safe shelters would like to request is, if you have understood how they work, they're working without funds. If you have programs that are aligned to the work of safe shelters, you can match your funds with the funds of the safe shelter program. So you can come in with your funds. Since you also love the work of safe shelters, you don't have to start another shelter. You can come in and partner. You were asking about partnership.
Please wrap up.
You can come in and part of sensitization on safe shelters, on their role and mandate. And as someone said, we don't just focus on prevention, on responding to GBV when it occurs, also prevention. And I want to say that safe shelters, where they exist, they also act as deterrents to GBV. When people know that there is a safe shelter and something can be done when they have, caused, when they perpetrate GBV, that survivors have somewhere they can run to. It contributes to reducing, I think, on safe shelters. It also helps attract other people, attract people who can partner with us, collaborate with us in the work, both by contributing funds or even non-financial resources that you can attract. We have seen, I'm just sharing from what we experience on ground, a lot of people fund safe shelters or GBV protection centers, as we are going to be calling them. There are people like the business communities, in the communities where we work, people of goodwill who just make contributions even from their own households. So we need to do a lot of sensitization and awareness or education on safe shelters, on GBV protection centers, and I'm hoping when funds are allocated for construction, we can also allocate funds. Even the government and other partners can allocate funds to ones sensitization and awareness education. I think our sister there mentioned about the technical working groups, which we are now calling them the GBV sector, gender sector working groups. They need to be trained on GBV. Because I think that the ones at sub-county level especially, they're almost the lowest organ at the community level that can give leadership. So we train them on GBV, we train them on safe shelters, because we have done that with some technical working groups, then GBV, gender sector working groups, and we see there's a very big difference where the sub-county GBV, gender sector working groups are trained and where they're not trained. Then, last but not least, peer learning. We can benefit a lot from peer learning. We have some safe shelters that are funded, or they have somehow, they somehow access a bit of funding, and they are doing amazing work. They are doing some of the recommendations that were made this morning. So we can also allocate resources and design our programs in a way that we can have learning, peer learning,
Okay. General Dean. Georgina, you ready? Oh, you're ready. Okay. You're not ready. Been able to have a dialogue. I know we had key deliverables or objectives that were highlighted strongly that we'll touch on, and I believe the conversations we've had from day one to this day highlight those actioning points. And of course the theme was from commitment to action, where we heard from the guest speakers or invited persons who were there yesterday, who outlined the major areas that they would hope will look different or act different. From the panel discussion that was there in the morning, they also gave us an oversight of what's already working and where the gaps are. And of course the panel discussion we had yesterday and today, where we focused today purely on, we looked at the legal architect it up. I'll request Georgina us to be able to because we are going. Okay, so we are going to between General D from Team D will be addressing this area that they had a conversation around. Karibu sana to give us key pointers of the areas they discussed on and how they propose the structure to look like. Karibu sana.
because we forgot to send it there.
Okay. To present on how can the proposed GBV fund be structured and be operationalized. We are sorry to say we had not finished our presentation, but I think the MC has allowed us to present just the way it is. Yeah, so the GBV fund will be domiciled in State Department for Gender. The purpose of the fund, we've discussed and said we'll have 4 pillars. One pillar is prevention and social norms change. The other one will be for protection, which will be survivor-centered, reports and support. Number 3 will be partnerships, that is system strengthening and justice. And evidence, innovation and sustainability, sustainable impact, that is the 4th pillar. And the fund will be managed by a board. So we thought that the board, the composition of the board will be commissioners and the secretariat. And then we'll have Minister of Health, Minister of Interior, and the development partners. And the board can co-opt any ministry and stakeholders that they feel are relevant. So principles of operationalization of the fund. It should be survivor-centered approach. I think you all understand when we say survivor-centered approach, right? We have to ensure that our survivors still have respect and also maintain their dignity. We should not do harm to our survivors, and also ensure that it is non-discriminating to their needs. And the informed approach, participation. Participation here, I think maybe we always need to, as we make our decision, always also ensure that we make decisions including the survivor, not just to make the decisions for the survivor. And then partnership and collaboration, community feedback, timelines and efficiency, accessibility, and then the fund should be devolved, I think within our 47 counties. Services to prioritize, given funds may be limited, protection centers, and then mitigate any challenge that can prevent a survivor from accessing the minimum care or legal support. So I think in our group we discussed a lot about ensuring that we are targeting our survivors, because our survivors go through a lot, and should be well equipped for them to receive the medical attention they need, like emergency contraceptives in case of rape, ensuring there's STI treatment. They have evidence can be collected by the police. And also, the Model Protection Center should be divided into different categories. So we are thinking that the centers should be inclusive. We'll have women, children. I think, our team lead was Geraldine, so it's very important. I think we all had Alberta talk about the child protection units in our police stations, which are lacking. Some police stations have, but others do not have. And we all know the challenges our children go through when they are taken to police stations and there are no child protection centers. So you'll find that these children have nowhere to maybe even spend the night. And then financial management for GBV fund, and then financial alignment for the 4 Ps. What are the 4 Ps? Huh? My group members. Prevention, protection, response is a P. Partnership, prosecution. Thank you. So you are alert, eh? Yes, then we need to have regular audits. Oh my. Just a minute. Yeah, we need to have regular audits and then proper allocation We need to have guiding principles and also research and innovation approach, public participation, partnerships, that is government puts in money, but also mobilize other partners. So we think about partnership. The government should work with partners on the ground. And of course, the partners, we mean our CSOs. Those are CBOs, NGOs. And the law that says all fines from courts on GBV cases should go towards the GBV fund. This was just a suggestion from one of our members. We don't know how possible this is, that when perpetrators are fined, those fines should go towards supporting the GBV fund. Our women rep, is this possible? I think you'll respond to that maybe. I think that is it. Our group members, we're actually not finished, but that's what we had. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I forgot to mention my name. My name is Lynette Kitui. I work for Ministry of Health, Nairobi County Government, coordinating gender-based violence in Kibera and Langata sub-counties.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate her. Okay, I know Georgina is ready. Please. She'll be handling the other question that we had, the discussion key pointers.
Good afternoon. My name is Georgina Dulu from the State Department for Gender Affairs and Affirmative Action, County Director for Kilifi. We were in breakout session E on county rollout strategy, which we were talking about phasing, prioritization, and partnerships. So the group noted that the counties are currently at different levels of preparedness. While some counties have established GBV policies, technical working groups, safe houses, and community awareness programs, others have only basic structures in place, and some only have draft policies in place. Therefore, it was agreed that one-size-fits-all approach would not be effective, and they recommended a phased rollout based on county preparedness. So when we are looking into this, we have to be very county specific because we are all at different levels and we have to customize whatever we have to suit our needs. The group emphasized the need for a standardized county readiness assessment framework to identify existing capacities, gaps, opportunities before establishing and expanding protection centers. It was further recommended documenting and benchmarking successful county models, and this is to ensure learning and also replication of good practices across other counties. On policy and governance, the discussion highlighted the need to strengthen county legal and policy frameworks, and counties with existing GBV policies were encouraged to review and update them to address emerging forms of GBV, and in this case, also including the issue of femicide, which in most of our policies, they are not yet captured, so we have to capture such. And it was also highlighted that there is the importance of engaging county assemblies and political leadership in advancing GBV-related legislation on the same. Participants strongly advocated for a multi-sectoral approach involving county governments, national government agencies, health facilities, GBV coordinators, shelters, civil society organizations, development partners, and community-based organizations. Existing technical working groups should be strengthened and used as platform for coordination, accountability, and follow-up on agreed actions, and the same, if possible, to be also put across the sub-counties and also to the ward level. The group also stressed the prevention and awareness creation, which must remain central to the GBV response. Counties are encouraged to invest in sustained community sensitization using local languages and existing community structures such as schools, religious institutions, women's groups, youth groups, community dialogues, and local media platforms. Participants also highlighted the value of youth-focused initiatives as seen in Migori County, such as the use of Kambi ya Vijana, and also across other counties, the use of social media platforms such as X, Facebook, and TikTok to reach wider audiences. On data and evidence generation, participants underscored the importance of strengthening GBV data collection, management, and utilization. Reliable data should inform planning, budgeting, policy development, and service delivery. Existing government information systems and coordination structures should be leveraged to support evidence-based decision-making. And as discussed from yesterday, we've seen that data is the basis of programming for all of us, and such should be looked into. The discussion also emphasized meaningful inclusion of persons with disability and other vulnerable groups. The participants call for disability-friendly services, accessible infrastructure, and genuine participation of persons with disabilities in planning, implementation, and monitoring processes. And to reiterate what one of our participants said is that we should not use persons with disabilities as flowers in our activities, but we should be very intentional on how we are going to include them in our programming. Regarding sustainability, participants acknowledge that government resources alone may not be sufficient to support protection centers. Counties were therefore encouraged to establish strategic partnerships with development partners, private sector institutions, philanthropic organizations, and community actors. Potential partners identified include financial institutions, telecommunication companies, and corporate foundations. Participants also proposed peer learning mentorship and shelter-to-shelter exchange programs to facilitate knowledge sharing and strengthen emerging protection centers. In summary, these are the key recommendations from our group. 1, develop and implement a phased county rollout strategy based on readiness assessments. Establish a standardized county readiness assessment tool. 3, strengthen and harmonize county GBV policies and legislative frameworks. 4, strengthen multi-sectoral coordination through active technical working groups. Scale up community awareness and prevention programs using local languages and community structures. Engage youth through initiatives such as Kambia Vijana and digital platforms. Strengthen GBV data collection, analysis, and utilization for planning and budgeting. Ensure meaningful inclusion of persons with disability and other vulnerable groups. Promote peer learning, mentorship, and county-to-county knowledge exchange. And mobilize sustainable financing through partnerships with development partners, civil society, and the private sector. In conclusion, the group agreed that successful rollout of GBV protection centers requires strong county ownerships, coordinated partnerships, evidence-based planning, inclusive programming, and sustainable financing to ensure that quality services are accessible to all GBV survivors across the country. My name is Georgina Dulu. Thank you so much for listening to me. And special thanks to each and every member who participated. We had so much to share, but time was not enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Georgina. Please let's appreciate her. A lot has been said, and I just wanted to run through Group A, led by General Dean. If there's anything that was left out and anyone would want to just quickly pop up and share. All groups are well represented, right? Okay, there's a hand there. If you don't mind, you can come to the front. Any other pointer that may have been left out from the discussion that you had?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jambo. My names are Joshua Adem. I want to thank the two groups as we shared together. And from my group, we didn't have also enough time, so we didn't finish too. And the only thing and the major one, which since yesterday I've not heard it being mentioned here, and I think it is very crucial if you want to challenge the situation that we are experiencing on GBV. And this comes because I'm seeing as if we have colonized our minds, in that we have tried to put aside our local knowledge in handling the GVV. And when you look behind in the 80s, I think when we were at school, there are some cultural knowledge which we were being given sometimes. You felt like your dad can tell you that if you kill a frog, the breast of your mom will disappear. So we feared killing a frog. And when you go to the Bible, they tell you the snake is what betrayed us. So wherever we are, when we see the snake, we jump on it, all of us. So there comes the indigenous knowledge, which we are trying to put aside. It doesn't mean that our knowledge is primitive. It should be embedded within the policies, so that as we roll out the education within our lower level, because we have to start from down coming up, is when this thing, when the children are growing, they will have to understand the boundaries which they should be moving as they grow. So I'm just requesting that from where we came from, all the counties which are here represented, let us look at how do we embed the indigenous knowledge. This one will lower the spread, because with the indigenous knowledge, you will find that that fear will be coming. Whatever you want to do, which is evil, some knowledge from the grandmother or your auntie will make you fear what you want to do. And you'll see that the reduction of the GVVs countywide. So that is what I wanted to share with the two groups, that whenever we put up a program on education, information, or any awareness, let us try to include also indigenous knowledge. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Any other person who's been left out? Yes? Mesh, I think there's some.
Thank you very much. My name is Engineer Ibrahim Adan, General Secretary of NCPCDK, Nexus of Caregivers and Parents of Children with Disability. And the reason why I'm emphasizing on the matter of the fraud prevention on the GP, on this financial management, because I think we have let out the reason. There's things I've started this association, and I'm advocating for the children with disability, including mine with autism. I heard that there's in school which I've attended, me myself in Mandera, and I've heard that the principal of that is the headmaster himself. They are taking the fund belong to the disability, children with disability. And when those who go to the ground and check that money, where that money goes, that person has been just given a threat. He told me that a certain school, I've been told, don't try to go to that school because anything can happen to you. So please, we will need, whenever we have strategized the matter of the finance, because the reason I formed this association is to become a whistleblower. Also, most of the centers that belong to the children with disabilities, or even in education centers, even you will not even that school, there's no single disability children with disability. But I heard that they are taking almost 7 million. The headmasters take 7 million, and that money goes to who? Because it is like a chain whereby the money that belongs to the vulnerable people are being misused. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Yes. Have a list. So we should have that strategy. Thank you.
Okay. Let me just have that.
Pick the key highlights. You good?
All right. We're heading to the tail end. We just have a few more things left before we excuse you guys. I'm sorry, I'm seeing some hands being lifted up. We don't have time for that, so just allow us to continue so that we can give the conference communique, basically a breakdown of what has transpired here for the last 2 days. Of course, we're coming to the end of the second day. And this was a national dialogue on GBV protection centers in Kenya with the theme From Commitment to Action, Securing Quality Services for Every GBV Survivor. Looking at basically the three asks that we have was that what this dialogue commits to. Ask 1 was pass the bill, the Protection Against Domestic Violence Amendment Bill 2026. KEWOPA to carry this. Parliament must fast track it as a priority legislation this session. Safe houses that are not backed by the law are not rights. They are favors waiting to be withdrawn. The second ask was build the GBV fund. Ring-fenced, government-backed, not another donor-dependent cycle. Survivor protection cannot run on goodwill. We need a dedicated, predictable financing mechanism that covers operations, caseworkers, shelter, legal aid, and not just bricks. And the third ask was a real roadmap. We leave this dialogue with a time-bound plan for all 47 counties, not 18 of the 47, not the counties where it's easy. Every county build on the best practice like the Homa Bay model, built by SHOFCO, handed to the county government, now fully county-owned and county-funded, is the template that is needed. From that, we scale it. Of course, we had the breakout sessions that informed the pillars of this conference. The first pillar was on legal and policy anchoring, and the first sub-article of that was the enactment of the PADV Amendment Bill 2026. The dialogue calls on Parliament, again KEWOPA in particular, to fast-track the Protection Against Domestic Violence Bill 2026 as a matter of urgency. And in this particular bill, it shall provide a legal definition, mandate, and minimum service standards for GBV protection centers. It's also meant to establish clear obligations on national and county governments for the establishment and the difficult word for me, so let me take it slowly, operationalization of centers. We go to empowering the Cabinet Secretary to develop regulations on survivor rights, minimum staffing, referral protocols, and quality assurance. The next sub-article of Pillar 1 was national minimum service standards. The State Department for Gender Affairs, in partnership with SHOFCO and the civil society, shall publish national minimum service standards for GBV protection centers within 6 months, covering the following spaces: intake and case management protocols, including the mandatory 72-hour evidence collection window. We'll also look at trauma-informed care, psychological support staffing, and medical referral pathways. It will also handle data management and mandatory contribution to the the GBVMIS National Information System. And finally, on that first pillar, we're looking at the enforcement of the 360-day case timeline. Now here, 73% of sexual violence cases currently exceed 1 year in court. Now the judiciary and the ODPP commit to designate dedicated SGBV court divisions in all high-volume counties, prioritize sexual gender-based violence cases in judicial scheduling, and publish annual reports on GBV case clearance rates by the county. That was the pillar handling the legal anchoring. Pillar 2 was sustainable financing, which is basically surrounding building the GBV fund. We had the article, the first sabbatical of that, establishment of a dedicated GBV fund. The second one was county budget integration, a very integral part. The Council of Governors and all 47 county executive committee members commit to integrate GBV protection, safe house operations as non-negotiable budget line item from the financial year 2027-2028. We're also looking at publishing county level GBV expenditure data annually through the county integrated development plans. And the final sabbatical of that pillar was the development partner alignment. Development partners such as UN Women, UNFPA, UNICEF, and bilateral donors commit to align future GBV financing with the national roadmap adopted at this dialogue, provide technical and financial support for GBV funds, and transition program funding toward recurrent operational costs, support alongside infrastructure investment. The final pillar, which was pillar 3, coordinated roadmap for all the 47 counties. We have that outlined as well, and it's been segmented into different timelines. We're looking at a phase of between July to December 2026. The key milestone that is expected to be achieved by then is the minimum standards published, coordination committee established, and the GBV fund design initiated, as well as the PADV bill progressed. This is in a scope of all the 47 counties. The second consolidation, we're looking at a timeline of January to December 2027, and the key milestones here are GBV funds enacted, 15 existing government centers fully operational, county budget lines activated. A priority is given to 15 out of the 47 counties. And the final timeline within that scope is 2028 to 2030. We're looking at functional centers in all the 47 counties. Let's go to commitment 3.3. This was SHOFCO's commitment as a co-convener and proof of concept. Now, SHOFCO commits to provide operational model, county relationships, and technical expertise to support the national rollout of GBV protection centers across priority counties, where we have constructed county safe houses, which is in Homa Bay, Kilifi, Meru, Trans Nzoia, and Migori. SHOFCO also commits to partner with county governments to manage and deliver GBV center services in counties where SHOFCO has established program presence, replicating the Homa Bay handover model. And finally, SHOFCO commits to share our participatory case management costing model and journey mapping methodology with the State Department for Gender Affairs for use in designing the GBV fund framework and national minimum service standards. The closing commitment is that this communique of commitment was adopted by consensus at the National Dialogue on GBV Protection Centers in Kenya on the 25th, or basically between the period of 24th to the 25th of June 2026 in Nairobi, and it represents the collective commitment of government, parliament, the judiciary, county governments, development partners, civil society, survivor networks, and shining hope for communities to the people of Kenya. Basically, that was the communique of the conference and a breakdown of what we've discussed, the commitments, and what we expect to be moving forward from that particular point. At this point, now let me welcome, I'd say our, no, not too sure, I'm not sure if it's second last, but let me welcome the next speaker. She passes her remarks. She's Professor Rose Odhiambo, and she's here representing the governor for Migori County, Honorable Ochilo Ayako. Welcome, Prof.
Mdomoni ponza kichwa, chunga sana kinywa chako, usinene mabaya, usinene
Thank you. Thank you. All protocols observed. Allow me to recognize the counties that have participated in this two-day dialogue. If you are there, please just stand. We want to appreciate you. I know the organizers will, but I want to speak on behalf of the counties. If you are there, please stand. I can't see any. You can shout your counties. I can see Meru is there. Let's give a clap for Meru. Which county? Pan? 047. Yes? Busia. Kisumu number 42. Asanteni sana. Nimewashukuru. So the county 044 is standing here to thank the organizers and also to appreciate the work that has gone into this. I believe it was not an easy thing. But before thanking you, all the attendees and the organizers, allow me to bring greetings and goodwill from the County 044 of His Excellency, Governor Dr. Ochilo Ayako. I am proud to represent him because I think of the 15 counties, we were the last to sign the MOU with SHOFCO, and the construction of our safe house has just started. So we are starting on a very good ground because you have given us all your success stories and also your failures. Thank you very much for setting that pace. I want to say that His Excellency the Governor Dr. Ochilo is also the chair of the legal committee for COG. So I am happy and glad to tell you that the legal issues that you are discussing here will be taken very seriously by COG. Is there any representation from COG? So I can also do that representation. Clap for me. Thank you. And also I want to say that of the 47 counties, we are also lucky to have our First Lady, Dr. Agnes Ochilo Ayako, who is the Vice Chair of the First Ladies, spearheading this issue of GBV and also the Kambia Vijana and other activities that you've had are going on in Migori County. So with the woman, the superwomanness in us, we believe that everything that has been discussed here will be put into practice. Sincerely speaking, I cannot be able to thank you, the attendees. You made this day wonderful. I even forgot that it was meant to be a day when people are running helter-skelter. It has been a very, very marvelous day for everything else. And I challenge you to go and put what you have learned here into practice. For us, we promise that what involves the county, especially in establishing the safe houses, in coming up with the GBV policy, in making the technical working groups, workable in our counties, in a collaboration and all the other things we have talked about, we will try our best in terms of financing, in terms of creating time, in terms of engaging the communities, in terms of working with all the other partners, including religious and police, so that the discussions we have had here will have meaning. I want to thank you for the rich communique that we have received, and I also want to thank our team. For us, we have agreed, the second group, we agreed that we are going to create a WhatsApp group because we don't want to lose what we have learned here. So we'll continue engaging, at least if possible, once a week or once a month, comparing notes and moving on with this work. I like the passion that I've seen in this meeting. Ni kama tumejituma. How did you feel? Ni kama tumejituma, isn't it? It is such a rich engagement, and I want to request, if possible, tuendelee na hii kazi bila ubaguzi.
I can hear persons with disabilities, and all of us have this responsibility of inclusivity when it comes to issues of GBV. I want to thank the team from Meru County. You reminded us. In fact, all of us have gone through some form of GBV. And I like the way she summarized it by saying that there could be SGBV, which is sexual, but some of us have also gone through physical, emotional. Some of us have gone through economic. Some of us are going through cultural types of this. Can we all say we are healed and we are starting a new walk and a new look with what has been done? So I want to say, as we leave, may we take goodwill and good tidings to the counties where we come from. Sincerely speaking, this work is for the counties. And if we have that rich engagement, tunaweza kuomba SHOFCO, the gender directorate, and other people who have been engaged in this, let this not be the last. We want it as often as possible so that we don't forget and sit in our comfort zones. I want to thank the Nairobi Women Rep. You've been in this for a very long time and you've not given up. So please be walking to our counties also, encouraging us and shaking hands with our governors, so that we all move together. It becomes a way of life for all of us. But what makes me happy is that the little effort you put where you are will make a big change in the end if we hold our hands. Last but not least, I wish you safe journey, and as a Christian I would say, may we do the best so that at the end of it all, we will receive this good word. Welcome, good and faithful servant. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, Professor. Please let's appreciate her on behalf of the governors. As we are coming to the close, allow me to invite Director of Gender SHOFCO, Ms. Carol Sakwa, to give her a brief. And then after, I will invite Dr. Josephine to be able to have a word. Karibu sana.
On behalf of SHOFCO, the CEO, the PD for IVC, I'm here to say thank you. We really appreciate the collaboration, the partnership, the government involvement, the State Department of Gender Guidance in organizing this conference. And on behalf of SHOFCO family, even the gender team that is here that really supported us, and they've done wonderful work for the last 2 days. We say thank you, and we say let's continue the fight. We fight for survivors, we give them priority, we give them safety, dignity, and hope so that they rebuild their lives. On behalf of SHOFCO again, I say thank you all for coming and God bless you.
Thank you, Madam Josephine. Dr. Josephine, karibu sana on behalf of the State Department.
Okay. All protocols observed, good afternoon. So first and foremost is just to appreciate each one of us for being here till now. First and foremost, we didn't even think, even as we were planning, in fact we had a plan B, that should we have very few people, we'll just do online, you know. But here we are, end of day 2. Please, let's clap for ourselves first and foremost. Yeah, that is a serious show of commitment. It doesn't mean that the others were not committed. I received so many text messages, those who were telling me that they were trying to come, but the roads were blocked from their homes. And therefore, they're following us online, and therefore, we also appreciate you, those who are online. Now, on behalf of our CS, the Cabinet Secretary, Madam Hannah Wendot, also on behalf of our Principal Secretary, who was here yesterday, Madam Anne Wangombe, and on behalf of all the State Department and the Ministry, Fraternity, we say asanteni sana. We really appreciate you. At this point, ideally, we should be giving what's already been given in the communique, and already we've put it together, it's already been shared, and that is the commitment that we come out with from here. As a government, it's already been explained earlier on, and I think Geraldine explained today in her presentation, and yesterday Director Karuki also explained, through the Executive Order number 1 of 2025, we are clearly mandated to ensure that this takes place, that what we've committed here happens. We are mandated to ensure that what you are supporting the government to do also happens, and we give guidance accordingly. And therefore, I am just reaffirming and committing the fact that first, we appreciate the work you're doing because you're supporting our mandate. And secondly, is to commit that we'll also do everything possible to ensure that you're able to do your part just as you're able to do our part, because clearly we have the same objective, to ensure that every woman, every girl is safe and protected. And when every woman is protected, it means the family is protected. And who belongs to the family? Boy, girl, man, everybody belongs to the family. When a woman is protected, then the family thrives and society thrives. Am I right? Yeah, and with those few remarks, I want to thank you once more, and allow me at this point that we are going to stand and appreciate. You can imagine yesterday, all these 8 tables were reserved, isn't it? They were all reserved. But we've had one person, one dignitary, who has stayed with us from yesterday until today. She kept going, reporting to work and doing other stuff and still coming back. So let us stand up and really applaud and appreciate one and only Mama County, Honorable Esther Passaris. Thank you very much. Yeah, she kept just going to work and coming back, going to work and coming back. Yeah, and without much ado, let us again appreciate her as she comes forward to do the closing remarks and close this forum for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. Every time I talk to my team in my office, my GAF team, I always tell them, when you are chosen to do a job, you have to know that you do God's work. When you're alive and breathing, you have to know you live by His glory. For me, this is something that I do with all my heart, and I really, really know that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with just the first step. We are not where we want to be, but with faith, we will get there. So I put a little thing together for closing remarks, so I'll just read that. Distinguished guests, colleagues, partners, and most importantly, the survivors who have honored us with their courage and their stories. As we come to the close of this national dialogue on GBV protection centers, I leave with one overwhelming feeling: hope. Over the last 2 days, we have not simply held another conference. It's been said here so many times. We have brought together voices that rarely sit in the same room: national and county governments, parliaments, judiciary, law enforcement, healthcare professionals, development partners, civil society, shelter providers, survivors themselves. That alone is a powerful achievement. We have listened to evidence, we have heard painful testimonies, we have examined the gaps in our systems. Most importantly, we have agreed on practical solutions. Today we are living with a shared commitment to strengthen our laws, establish sustainable financing, standardize protection services, improve coordination, and ensure that no survivor is left behind because of where they live. The stories we heard reminded us that shelter is not just a building. It is often the difference between life and death, between despair and hope, between fear and healing. But rescue alone, as I mentioned this morning, is not enough. Our responsibility is to ensure that survivors can rebuild their lives through justice, education, economic empowerment, social cycle support, and successful reintegration into society. I commend the State Department of Gender. I also acknowledge the representation by the Secretary of the Cabinet, who joined us yesterday, Honorable Mercy, and I also commend SHOFCO, all the partners and every participant who contributed to this dialogue. Your expertise, your honesty, your commitments have laid the foundation for meaningful change. Now the real work begins. Let us leave this room with good intentions, with not only good intentions, but measurable actions. Let us hold ourselves accountable for the commitments contained in the communique that will be issued today. Let us continue working together until every county has functional survivor-centered protection services and every survivor can access safety, dignity, and justice. Together we can build a Kenya where no woman, man, child, or person with disability suffers in silence, where every survivor knows that help is available, justice is possible, and healing is within reach. Thank you for your commitment, your partnership, and your unwavering belief that a better Kenya is possible. You know, we are a signatory to the SDGs. And today, SDG number 17, which is about partnerships, is in this room. So let nobody tell you that you were here, you wasted donor money, taxpayers' money, or your time. You know, I always say that a jigsaw puzzle has many pieces. To make that perfect picture that we want for Kenya in the area of GBV protection centers, everybody has a piece to that perfect picture. So hold your peace with pride, because one day when we look at Kenya, we will remember the meeting that we held in this room. We were sitting down and just discussing, have we ever had such a meeting before, where we all sit together to discuss something so important? I don't remember. This meeting is so timely. This meeting is so godly. All of you are blessed to have been chosen, whether online or here physically. You're blessed to have been chosen to be part of this journey to give Kenya what it needs in terms of SGBV protection centers that are inclusive, that are sustainable, that are successful, and where survivors look at us and say, truly, I'm proudly Kenya, and other countries come here to benchmark. So hold your peace and know that when we're creating that perfect picture and you lay it down, you will be proudly part of the history that we've made for our country. May God bless you all. May God bless Kenya. May God bless our president and our leaders, because we're living at such a time where leadership is under a lot of criticism and challenges. But I know that you are where you are because you're chosen. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Mama County.
Oh, the prayer.
We want to do an aerial view photo, and then Ibrahim will conclude with a prayer. Thank you so much. Don't even go far. Mama County, usiende mbali. So I need you here, and every other person, let's move in front. We
We're going to do an aerial. The photographers will be here.
Oh, I thought it's one of those flying.
Songa tu mbele, kuja tu. I think there. Photographers, please guide us. There. Yes, face this side. So, our videographer, please. Karibia. Please don't be seated. Tunataka kuhakikisha we were here. We were present, we showed up. Sindio? What was the theme again? What was our theme? Guys, what was our theme from? From commitment to action. Now can we do that with gist, with power? We want to do a video and just, we are here, we showed up. I hope there's no one behind, and if you're behind, you're very visible. From commitment to action. Good. So, are we good? 1, 2, 3, go. From commitment to action. From commitment to action. From commitment to action. Thank you so much. Na pia kuna picha, ukitaka picha kwenye huku nyuma umekaribishwa sana. Photography is ongoing. Make use of it.
Chunga sana kinywa chako. Usinene mabaya. Usinene mabaya. Baraka upate baraka. Kesho yatakuzunguka wewe, ukimtupa mwenzio kwenye kivuli, kesho mwanga utakukosa tena. Ukicheka machozi ya jirani, ukilia nani atabaki? Kile unachokisema kwa hasira kinarudi moyoni, kinapunguza